Alright everybody, this is Jack at the Paranormal Intelligence Agency, bringing you another video. On this one I thought I would do something a little different for the intro, and then as always I'll do a paranormal update at the end here. So what I've done is I've taken all of the best known or highest quality Sasquatch face photos and I've put them all together side by side. Most of the photographs on here, I know the people who actually took the photographs. Obviously, I've met Bob Gimlin, but I didn't know Patterson and Gimlin personally. Likewise with the Beast of Seven Shoots, which I will talk about. But on the ones that you'll see, I'll comment on who the researchers are and how they were able to obtain those photographs. But I thought it was important to do this so that people can see the wide genetic diversity in these creatures. There are still many mysteries when it comes to these animals, and the fact that their faces differ so widely, just like humans, is one of those mysteries. Each one of these creatures looks like an individual, just like humans look different from one another. And it's different than like in a great ape population where every animal really resembles one another. With the Sasquatch creatures, it doesn't appear to be that way. And we all have our theories as to why that's the case. And my working theory is and has been that these creatures are in fact genetic chimeras that were constructed by the same alien intelligence that the United States government and mainstream media is beginning to disclose to the public, if you've been paying attention to that. So these creatures, as I explained on Beyond Belief with George Norrie, have abilities that are way beyond any other animal on the planet. And there's just a huge gap between what they can do and what any other life form can do on the planet. That combined with the DNA that we collected and went into the famous Sasquatch genome study shows that these things are genetic chimeras. In other words, they are a species that has a blended genetic makeup of various creatures. This is done on such a high technological level that only an alien intelligence could have done it. We are doing some chimera work in the United States and around the world, but obviously nothing as advanced as what this work would be. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you face after face of each one of these animals and talk about them. So let's get started here. Everyone in the Bigfoot community knows who Patty is. What's fascinating to me is that there are still people who deny that this was a real creature. This was 1967. The most advanced monkey costumes in the world were on the sets of the Planet of the Apes movies, and you can readily see how much different they look than this supposed costume. And we are left to believe that two penniless cowboys could come up with a monkey suit that not even the best Hollywood makeup artist could produce at the time. Let's not even mention the fact that the arm length has been determined by scientists to be beyond that of a human being. And she has her fist clenched. And in 1967, there were no animatronics. And so the actual mechanism by which you would need to have that in a suit didn't exist. And there's a whole lot of other reasons, and I won't keep making the argument for this film. But let Patty's face burn itself into your mind, because it's the gold standard. And we'll compare all of the others. And next up is the Beast of Seven Chutes. It's a fascinating photograph. You can see the face is quite a bit different than Patty's. And my analysis, I think that this creature is actually holding a dog. Some researchers think it's, some sort of animal kill that it has. This next one has no name, but what a spooky face. And Mark Abel of Colorado Bigfoot Research didn't even know that this thing was watching him as he took his film in the Holy Cross Wilderness at 9,000 feet that day. After that, we have Todd Standing's now famous photographs. These have been signed off on by Dr. John Bindernagel and Dr. Jeff Meldrum and a few other highly credentialed scientists. I believe these to be authentic. I did my own behind-the-scenes investigation of Todd Standing before I ever contacted him personally, and I know for a fact that Todd could not have financially pulled off a hoax of that kind. That with ongoing photographic evidence and the fact that many scientists that he's interacted with believe that the photographs are real, tells me that high probability, no hoax, these are real faces. This next guy is very spooky. This was captured on the North Carolina High Falls hiking trail and was sent to me and JC Johnson at Crypto Four Corners. The animal only appeared in 2 or 3 frames of the film. It was actually filmed by a man who was on that hiking trail, didn't realize he had even caught it on film. And as you'll see, we blew the face up and then stripped away the blue light to reveal what looks to me like just a really scary prehistoric looking like creature. In this particular creature, you can see the strange human-like features on the lower face, and yet the upper face has the typical Sasquatch features. Now we're looking at a photograph taken by Mark Para of Colorado Sasquatch Research, and I think it's one of the best face photographs of a Sasquatch ever, Colorado Bigfoot. And this particular photograph is fascinating because he was able to blow it up slightly and then put it to the right of the original, and you can see what appears to be a baby up on the left shoulder neck area of the animal. We see the white lower lip. Not really sure why. It has been proposed that that's from licking rocks or minerals, trying to get salt content. So we don't really know. I know Mark was personally, and I know that he was able to get this photograph because these animals were coming out of an area that a forest fire was burning in, and he knew they would have to go through a certain area, and so he got one of the best photographs I think ever taken. Next up is also a photograph obtained by Susan Crone and Mark Para of Colorado Sasquatch Research in 2016. Now, notice the individual or the dark area that's just around the top left boulder, because that shadowy area is actually a creature. And when the blue light was stripped away, what it showed was an amazing animal, a truly paranormal photograph of what this creature was that was peering out over the boulders. Now this creature, it has the same bare area around its face as Patty and as the creature in the Holy Cross Wilderness, but you can clearly see that it has some sort of strange necklace, amulet around its neck, and the facial features are truly bizarre. Now I know Mark and Susan personally, and they don't bother to hoax anything. They don't have to. They've gotten amazing results, and this is one of them. And finally, we have a photograph taken by Leo Frank in New Brunswick, Canada. This has recently made it onto Paranormal, caught on camera on network television, and you can see the difference here. Leo thinks that this is actually some sort of feral, prehistoric-like human, and it doesn't have the same cone shape head that Sasquatch normally has, and it just altogether has a more prehistoric man look to it. So there we go with some side-by-side comparisons, and now on to the paranormal update. And in the paranormal update, Senator Marco Rubio is seeking declassification of UFO secrets. This is on the Paranormal Intelligence Agency website. It's paranormal-intelligence-agency.com. Log on. All of the links are on there to all of these very real paranormal stories that are coming out even in mainstream media. So this is part of the ongoing UFO disclosure movement. There are senators involved, military eyewitnesses. This ball just keeps on rolling. So we're going to see how far it goes. I believe the inevitable question will come down to alien abduction, and that's going to begin to truly horrify people as they continue down the rabbit hole of UFO and alien disclosure. We've got another story about the Pentagon UFO unit will make some of their findings public going forward. So you're going to have ongoing disclosure of these craft. The links to all of these stories are right on the website. If you click on it, it'll take you right to the actual source. This one's in the New York Times. And so this is a big deal. There's all kinds of information coming out now that UFO investigators like me have dreamed of forever. So looks like our dreams are coming true. Next is the recent photograph of the Loch Ness Monster, supposed photograph. Upon investigation, researchers discovered that this was taken, in fact, by a man who was a 3D artist. At the same time that this photograph surfaced from this individual, there was a catfish that had been caught in Wales. The back of these catfish have spots, and those spots are like a fingerprint, and so they were able to match up the catfish in this photograph with the spots on the back of the animal, and proved that it was manipulated. So that one is put to bed. And finally, or one of the final big stories happening is Bob Lazar. This is a guy that everybody in the UFO community knows, and now it looks like all of his claims are true. And we have to assume that everything he was saying was in fact correct now and move our way backward from there. But I suspect that Bob is a very genuine person, and he did his best to let the public know about some very, very disturbing things. And this alien presence could be terminal for the human species. Going on, we do have a brand new subscriber report of a Dogman eyewitness. The account contains details in it that I have never come across in any other Dogman encounter. And again, that's available to the subscribers to the website. So subscribers out there, make sure you log on and read that report. And finally, the Pentagon is going to launch a task force to investigate UFO sightings. Donald Trump in April called the footage a hell of a video, but told Reuters he wonders if it's real. And the fact that a sitting president is talking openly about UFOs at the same time that the military is releasing videos and military eyewitnesses are appearing on television shows means this is a concerted effort at disclosure. And I will see you on our next video. Thanks again for being with me, guys.